When people think about Goof Troop, they remember the theme song, the slapstick, Goofy falling through stuff, Pete yelling, Max rolling his eyes. What they don't immediately remember, because Disney never said it out loud, is that this was one of the quietest, most honest portrayals of single fatherhood in 90s animation. No tragic flashback, no your mom passed away episode, just absence. And sometimes absence speaks louder than exposition. Max has one parent, Goofy has one child, and the show never treats that as a gimmick. It treats it as normal. That alone was radical for a Disney cartoon in the early 90s. Now let's put on the Super Beast lens for a second. Goofy isn't just the clumsy dad. He's a man raising a son by himself in a suburban town where every mistake feels public. He's trying to do everything. Be provider, role model, disciplinarian, emotional support, and he's doing it while being painfully aware that he embarrasses his kid. That's the key. Goofy knows. He feels it. That's why his parenting is over the top sometimes. That's why he tries too hard. That's why he leans into humor. That's not stupidity. That's compensation. That's a parent saying, I don't know if I'm enough, so I'll give you everything I've got. And this is where Dr. Flashback pulls the chair closer. Goofy parents from anxiety, not fear of punishment, not ego, but fear of loss. When you watch Goof Troop as an adult, you realize Goofy is terrified of pushing Max away. He doesn't want to be the dad Max resents. He doesn't want to be Pete. So instead of ruling with authority, he rules with patience, forgiveness, and optimism, even when it costs him respect in the short term. That's single-parent psychology. If I'm all my child has, I can't afford to lose them emotionally. Max, on the other hand, is written like a kid who grew up fast without realizing it. He's responsible, he's self-aware, he's emotionally intelligent beyond his age. That doesn't come from nowhere. That comes from watching your parents struggle and deciding, consciously or not, I can't add to the weight. Max isn't just embarrassed by Goofy, he's protective of him. And that's why their dynamic hits harder than most cartoon parent-child relationships. They're not just father and son, they're a two-person unit against the world. And when you contrast that with Pete and PJ, the message becomes even clearer. Pete is a two-parent household on paper, but emotionally absent in practice. Loud, controlling, hyper-masculine. Pete believes authority creates strength. Goofy believes connection does. PJ grows up timid, unsure, desperate for approval. Max grows up confident, conflicted, but emotionally whole. That contrast isn't accidental. It's the show quietly asking, what actually makes a good parent? Not money, not toughness, presence. The wild part is Disney never marketed Goof Troop as this kind of show. It wasn't sold as a family drama. It was framed as wacky fun in the Disney afternoon lineup. But underneath the slapstick was a sitcom structure, a working-class suburban setting, and a parenting story that felt closer to Family Matters or Full House than DuckTales or Darkwing Duck. That's probably why it feels forgotten today. It was too grounded to be epic, but too emotional to be disposable. And when a Goofy movie came out, people thought that was the emotional leap. It wasn't. That movie just said out loud what Goof Troop had been whispering for years. The road trip, the conflicts, the tears, that was earned because the foundation was already there. Goof Troop taught us who Goofy was as a father. So yeah, Goof Troop wasn't just a cartoon, it was a show about a man doing his best with no backup, no co-parent, and no guarantees. About a kid learning who he is while loving someone who isn't cool, isn't perfect, but is always there. And the reason nobody talks about it that way is because Disney didn't tell us to. They trusted us to feel it instead. And maybe that's why it hits harder now than it ever did then.